It's time for our Fun Friday with comedian and licensed therapist Poncere. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me again and again and again, and happy Friday.
Absolutely.
Yes, happy Friday. So today's topic is healthy ways to handle mistakes.
Woo.
We all made them. It's okay.
You got a minute?
Yes, I really want to talk about this topic, mistakes, because we all make mistakes. It's part of the human experience. It is unavoidable. You're going to make mistakes. And if you're not making mistakes, I can assure you, you are probably not doing anything that is worthwhile.
Well, that's pretty true.
Okay, so let's talk about mistakes that people can make. And I think we need to note, you actually posted this on your page, and you said you didn't really get a lot of attraction. So maybe it's because people didn't want to share their mistakes, but it's okay. It's human nature.
Yes, absolutely. Maybe you said something that you shouldn't have said. Maybe you did something wrong, or maybe you lost your temper and it caused you to lose your job or maybe a relationship. Maybe you married the wrong person. That's a mistake.
Ouch.
I know.
You had me going there until then. Okay.
Yes. And if that's you, just look at the camera, look at me. Don't look at your partner, your spouse, because they're going to know. They're going to know that it's you.
Poncere, so how can mistakes affect you if they're not handled or managed correctly?
I think that's a great question. So if you do not learn how to manage your mistakes more appropriately or healthy, or maybe look at them differently, it can cause you to really start to second guess yourself. And for those that are more prone or more sensitive to errors, it can cause an increase in anxiety. Sometimes when you make mistakes, you're now questioning your judgment. But if we look at it in a more healthy, from a more healthy perspective, you'll realize that mistakes are part of the learning process. Sometimes when we make a mistake, we can reevaluate what we did, and we can often find that there's room for improvement, or maybe we need to try something differently in order to get the desired outcome. I was thinking about something that was more of a trivial mistake that I did some time ago. I had some hair extensions installed at a salon, and they were a little bit too long for my liking.
Oh boy.
And I knew it, and I should have said something to the hairstylist, but when I left, I chose to go home and cut my hair or just modify the style a little bit. I just want the viewers to know that I turned out looking like a chia pet. A chia pet. And so I learned from that experience that I am not a cosmetologist. Those pair of scissors were not my friend.
Okay.
And I know that my strength is not in hairstyling. So I learned something from that process, because I did have to go out looking quite unprofessional.
So barring hair extensions, what are some healthy ways to handle the mistakes?
Yes, there are many ways to handle mistakes more healthy. I would definitely say take and accept responsibility for mistakes that you've made. Own it. Acknowledge it. I made a mistake. I made an error. I misstepped. Also, if you can, if possible, make amends with someone. You know, if it caused someone else harm, apologize. Own that you did something that offended someone or hurt someone. Also, show yourself compassion. Oftentimes when we make mistakes, our awareness was limited at that time, or we did not have the knowledge that we have now. So don't beat yourself up twice for something that you just didn't know. Show yourself some grace and show yourself some compassion. Also, take the time to ask yourself, what was the lesson learned from this situation or mistake? And there are some times that mistakes are actually a gift in disguise.
True.
Because you learn what not to do the next time a situation happens of that similar nature. And so also I would definitely say, remind yourself that no mistake defines you. It doesn't define you. And sometimes we have to repeat certain affirmations to ourselves. You have to tell yourself, no one is inferior to me. No one is superior to me. I am who I am. I love myself. I accept myself, flaws and all. So you also have to just remind yourself, mistakes do not define you. You can actually learn, grow, and live a better life.
Repeat the affirmation. Don't repeat the mistake. You don't learn, you are going to repeat.
Absolutely, absolutely. So you have to look at mistakes as a learning process. It could give you ability to move forward with more confidence because you're learning. It's going to be a lifelong process. If you're human, you're going to make mistakes. You can't avoid it.
Ooh, sometimes you need to hear that because, you know, there are perfectionists out there that don't like to make mistakes, and sometimes when we do, it can be tough, but we have to
Yes.
learn that it's human nature and it's going to happen. And sometimes
Absolutely.
you can learn from it. If you don't, someone else will.
Absolutely,
So, okay,
absolutely.
I like
So
this.
we're going to make mistakes, but we're going to move forward with confidence.
From your lips to everybody's ears.
Absolutely.
There you go. Poncere, thanks so much. Where can people go to follow you? And next time, answer those questions.
Absolutely. So follow me on Facebook and Instagram at The Poncere Show. And we look forward to seeing you here again next Friday on the Morning Mix Show.
All right. Poncere, appreciate it. Thank you much.
Absolutely.
Have a great Friday.
You as well.